All right, this is Dan Meehan for Fight News Australia, and today we have Jamie Mullarkey, who fights Khama Worthy on March 27 at UFC 260. Jamie, how are you?
Good, mate. Good. Training's going good, and just over in Vegas now, so settled in nicely.
Fantastic. How far in advance do you head over to Vegas normally?
This time we're 2 weeks early, just because I think Alex Volkanovski, I've kind of done camp with him, so he headed over a bit early to corner Brad Riddell, his teammate. So I've come over early with them, and we're getting some good training in.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And for those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about your background in MMA and how you got started?
Yeah, so I got started in the off season of rugby union when I was like a kid, and just kept going, kept getting pretty good at it, and then kind of like funnily enough, kind of got stuck in the sport just from being like sort of good, because I was never a standout in anything, and then I don't know, just MMA kind of just drew to me, and kind of like came naturally. So I was training at Magnus Martial Arts, was my home gym from when I was a kid, when I was like 14, and trained with Noah for like 10 years. And then a couple of years ago, Ross Pearson started up a gym, and I'd been training with Ross when he come out to Australia, like on and off, for about 2 years. And then he made the move over here and opened up a gym, and I just jumped at the opportunity, and I've been training with him since. Still train with my old coach Noah as well. He's over here in Vegas with me now, actually. So yeah, that's where I'm up to now.
Fantastic. So do you take your whole team over? So you're not affiliated with a gym in the US or anything?
Yeah, well, now I've got Noah with me, and then like I said to you before, again, I've done my camp with Joe Lopez and Alex Volkanovski, so it's good. We got a good little team over here. One of Alex's training partners, Colby Thickness, young guy coming up the ranks. So we got a solid little team here, getting some good work in.
Brilliant. Now, I was in the audience actually for your UFC debut against Brad Riddell. It was a pretty incredible fight, as I think most people would recall, and deservedly won fight of the night. Is it true that you were pretty much fresh off the couch for that one?
Yeah, I was training, but I did take that fight on short notice. But like I'm not using that as an excuse or anything. But yeah, it was just like when you get the call up, and I'm sure everyone does that for that kind of an opportunity. Any fighter that gets a call up and says, "Do you want to fight in the UFC in 3 weeks?" They're gonna jump at it. So yeah, that's how it came about.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you do anything fun with the 50K?
I bought a new car. Yeah,
Oh,
that
nice.
was my first thing to do. So
Yeah,
I had a little upgrade for my first upgrade. So
oh, that's good. Nice, nice. So how did you go during COVID last year? Obviously you managed to get a fight in October, but did you train sort of, was training unaffected, or did you sort of have to take a break, or how did that play out?
yeah, well, I was actually, funnily enough, COVID probably came at a perfect time in my life, because I had just pulled out of a fight in February for the New Zealand card that was in February last year. And that was just before coronavirus hit. Like, Corona sort of kicked off in March, and I just pulled out of that fight from a bulged disc in my neck. So I had an impinged nerve and bulged disc in my neck, and had to get surgery. So I got surgery when everything pretty much shut down, so no one was able to fight anyway. And I was injured, so I was recovering. The fights kicked off again, like I think it was about April, where the UFC got fights up and running again, or the start of May, I think. So I was still recovering. So last year, like, was a bit of a whitewash for me, because I was recovering from that for a fair while. got that fight in at the end of last year, and I wouldn't say I was at my 100%. Like I was still they got a good camp in and everything, but from where I started this camp to where I started that last camp, I was coming off the couch from like an 8-week recovery after surgery. Went straight into a fight camp. So yeah, it's different this time around.
Okay. And how's the neck going now?
It's good. It's good. It's back to pretty much full. Not quite where it was before, but like pretty much I've got it's not affecting me in any way in my training now, and I can feel the difference from this camp to last. Like just starting the camp I was in, like I was strong, I was fit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in there and showing what I can do.
Absolutely. Now, as I mentioned off the top, your next assignment is Khama Worthy at UFC 260. How's training camp been so far?
Yeah, it's been unreal. We've covered all aspects. It's been no stone unturned. I've been, like I said, I've been down training with Alex for pretty much my whole camp, going back and doing bits and pieces at home with Ross Pearson, my head coach. So it's been really good. I'm looking forward to going in there, and I think it's going to be the best version of me that's going to step in that octagon.
Excellent. And how much do you know about him? Are you the type to watch tape, or do you leave it to your coaches?
Yeah, we've watched some tape and figured out a good game plan to take at him. I sort of leave that stuff to Ross. He's the brains of the operation, as I like to say, and yeah, we've sussed out a good game plan to take him on.
How do you feel you match up against him?
I feel it's a really good stylistic fight for me, man. Yeah, I really do. I think styles make fights, and it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be definitely a fan-friendly fight.
Excellent. Now, you're 0-2 in the UFC. Granted, the first fight was on short notice, and the second fight against Faraz Ziam, I think the general consensus was that you're a bit stiff there. Do you feel like your back's against the wall this time around?
Yeah, I know that this fight's very important. I feel like every fight's the biggest fight of your life, but this one means a lot. This is a must-win fight. I think I'm 1-1 in the UFC. I think most people that watched that last fight will agree that I got pretty hard done by, and I've talked to the UFC and to Sean Shelby and the matchmakers, and they had me winning too. So in my mind, I'm I've had one loss in the UFC, and it was a cracker of a fight on short notice. Edged out a decision against the guy that was sort of not really willing to engage in much of a fight. So I'm in my mind, I'm good. I'm good to go. It's just it's a must-win fight.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think most people would agree that you were pretty stiff in that second fight. But does it change the way that you approach the fight at all? Sort of knowing that a 0-3 record probably doesn't look great on the on paper, or is it just business as usual?
It doesn't really, no. It's because it's a fight. Like I come to fight every time, regardless of what the situation is and what's going to come out of it. I think if anything, it's going to make me dig that little bit deeper, and it's important. I'm fighting for my life, so my back's on the wall, and it's going to bring the best out of me.
Fantastic. So how does the fight go down on March 27? How do you visualize it?
I see fireworks. I see it's going to be an exciting fight. Man, I'm getting my hand raised. I know that much. I don't know how it's going to be yet, but I will be getting my hand raised on March 28th.
Fantastic. And what are you going to do in hotel quarantine when you get home?
Mate, it's going to be a bit of a drag. That's the part that I'm not really looking forward to, but it's all going to be worth it. It's just part of the gig at the moment where the world is. It's pretty crazy, but we feel pretty lucky to still be able to be competing, or I do anyway.
For sure. So despite all the experience you've had, you've fought Alexander Volkanovski before, and you've been fought a who's who in Aussie MMA. You're still only 26 years old. How do you sort of see your career playing out from here on out?
Yeah, I've got some good experience under my belt, and I still feel new in this game, man. Like it's funny. Like I still got that hunger that I first had when I made my pro debut. And I think the best thing about fighting in the UFC now is I am new to the UFC and to the company, so I got something to prove, and that's what I'm looking to do. I see myself getting on another tear, like I have in the lightweight division before, and I see big things coming.
Brilliant. Before I let you go, is there anyone you want to shout out or any sponsors you want to put out there? I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, big shout out to all my sponsors that are helping me, particularly my major sponsors, and just a big shout out to Central Coast MMA, the Wrestling Foundation, Gary Jones, Danny Cortaro at Gracie Baja Jiu-Jitsu Central Coast, and just thanks to everyone that's continues to support me and back me, and I'm not going to let you down. It's going to be a cracker fight, and I'm hoping you all want to tune in March 28th.
Well, looking forward to it. Jamie, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat, and all the best on.
Awesome. Thank you very much.